Welcome back to the channel, people. Today I'm going to tell you a story about how I got into the British squad and became a judo champion. So you can see the medals around my neck. I wanted to start this video off a little bit different because, I feel that talking about your experience within life, enables people to understand you a lot more and maybe where you've come from, so your journey. So I started this journey in judo when I was of the age of about 7. And I got into judo because me and my cousin, who also does judo, was always like wrestling about. We used to watch wrestling, innit? Well, we're kids from that type of era. And I remember smashing my granny's front door, which I'm not very proud of about because me and my cousin was wrestling. Got some real licks that night. And from then, no one can, I got some licks that night, I've got to be honest. And from then, we went to judo, which was interesting to me because, it was just somewhere where I've never been before. And I thought to myself, oh, what's this about? Like loads of other kids and stuff that were my age, we put on suits and you do what the sensei tells you to do, innit? So for me, it was just an eye-opener, just something to get rid of extra energy, but not something that I thought would just change my trajectory of my whole life. When I look at it, when I look at the skills which I've learned from being a judoka is the word. So I would say that journey started at about 7 to 6, and just going training and just understanding and learning how to do the first moves, which is something like a taitoshi or something like that. And obviously learning the words as well at that age, like at 6 or 7 years old, you need to learn the difference between taitoshi, ujimata, all of these other things, which you're thinking to yourself, what is this? What is this? This is crazy. But it was something which kept me quite focused. I would definitely say I was actually excited about going to judo and just going to the training in general, because it wasn't so much about the competition, because that comes later on, which I will speak about. That's why you guys are, I got the medals on today. I've got a couple of them. I've got quite a lot of medals, but they're in my loft and stuff. One day I'll do a full video where I can show you everything from that, but I'll see how this video goes and the reaction which we get. But hopefully you guys are liked and subscribed and you're ready for this little story time which we're going to go on, which we talk about some of my personal experience within Gai judo. I'm trying to remember back to like the first day when I actually went training. Like most kids would be, a bit anxious, you're a bit scared, you don't know what's going to go on in it. There's other people, they got their whole judo suit on. All I had on at the top was just the top bit, which is just the gi. So I had that on with some tracksuit bottoms, so I was probably looking wild out there. But again, I'm a child. I don't really care about stuff like that. What I care about is that I'm getting involved in what's going on and I'm understanding it, innit? So I went there with my cousin because he had already either started or was doing it for some reason. But I found out for some reason later, my uncle, who I speak about, who got me into plumbing, he was the person that got me into judo as well. So for me, that was just like, okay, cool. I can trust my uncle with everything. So he's taking us judo. We're going there, getting ready, and he's just, I don't even think at that moment he was trying to coach us on what to do, innit? He was just like, look, we're going judo, and that's that. Like I come from a Caribbean family, so very traditional on adults, what they say you must do, innit? So there's no deviating from what you think you're going to do and what they tell you what you're going to do. You're going to do what they tell you to do. So just get that right in your head. So that was the plan. Obviously, I'm a child. I'm still going with it. Went there, and I remember coming back and telling my mum that I really liked it and I want to go again. So I think she was quite happy that I was getting into something, because I feel that later on, looking back at it now, I know how important it is to get into sports or get into a hobby which you're doing to distract you about some things which pull you away from life and probably could corral you and just mess up or fuck up your future, innit? That's the truth. I'm glad I had that teaching from early, because it stopped me from looking at stuff and saying that I want to be doing the naughty stuff which other bad kids were doing. Not to say that I weren't doing any naughty stuff, of course, I was active, very active when I was young. But the judo side of it brought me to a place of like, okay, I'm learning a new skill. I'm not the best here, but I want to be better at it. And being better at it means that you got to work at your craft on a different type of level. There was times when I went judo and I said, I don't want to be here no more. Do you know what I mean? I'm being thrown about. I'm not winning. The person's getting the better of me. I don't know if this is for me, man. I can't get it. I can't get like how to be like how I need to be when I'm on there. So am I not watching people enough? Am I not taking people in? But what I had to start doing was start just really digging deep into myself and saying to myself, is this something that you want to do? So the answer was yes on that tip. Do I want to learn how to do things properly, how other people are doing things? Most definitely. So that allowed me to lock in a piece, and I learned locking in at that age. So about when I first started, I wasn't winning. Like I'll just be honest with you. I went to some competitions. I think I got some bronzes. This is my only bronze national medal, and it's so old. It's obviously came off the ribbon, but this is very sacred to me. So this is one of my bronze medals, which I got. This is a national medal. So in the country, I came number 3rd for that age and that weight at that time. So that's the medal there. From then, I got on a streak and I said to myself, I got to be a winner. I got to be a winner, because you get a taste of what it's like to be on a podium, yeah? And again, you're looking to the right or to the left of you, depending on how you're standing, and looking at the other person who's on the higher one, which is on number 1, saying, oh, okay, you won. You had the better day today. So I learned that the competition is on the better day, right? So preparing yourself for that better day and not injuring yourself, but making sure that you can do the throws or the moves, what you want to do to be able to be the better fighter on that day. That's what all mattered. It mattered about not being over energized. Like when I got to competitions, I realized I can't be running up and down doing all stuff outside playing, or like playing with your mates and all that. Remember, I'm still young, innit? So you do be playing with your mates. I got to be focused. I got to be listening to some music. I got to be chilled the hell out. I got to not feel like I'm tired, because the moment I feel like I'm tired, I won't be able to do what I need to do when I get on there, because I'm trying to, what it is this burst of your energy which you need to use during that time. It's like running a fast race. I need to get on and just do as much as I can and give as much as I can while I'm fighting that other person, right? Because I'm going to be focused. I'm going to be making sure that I can counter move them. I'm making sure I'm not getting any shidos or penalties and stuff like that. So it's a lot of focus. That's definitely what I would say. A lot of pressure as well, but while going onto the mat as well, because you can imagine. I don't know if anybody's seen a judo mat before, but you walk on from the sides, you bow at the first bit, and then you bow again. Yeah. But bearing in mind, you've probably got your coach on one side and the other person's coach, and all the other judo players and all the crowd and all that around. So it's very intense as a scenario. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of eyes are watching you, and there's so many people speaking and shouting in the room, like, come on, Tommy, come on, Paul, come on, Danny. Like, you can't even hear your own name being called. Do you get it? It's kind of all like a blur. But I say it's like a blur because at that present time, yeah, I'm super dolo locked in on that person. I mean, I'm not taking my eyes off that person. That's how I'm moving when I'm fighting someone. Is I don't take my eyes off that person from when we bow to where we get to the point to where I'm going to put my hands on you, because I know that intimidation during fights here wins from the jump. Like, you could intimidate someone from looking over at them and never taking your eye off them, and they're talking to their coach. You're looking at your coach, but you're still looking at him, and you're just letting him know, when we get on there, it's me and you, there's no place to run. So I made that a thing when I was on the mat with people. So that kind of struck a good fear into them, most definitely. And that was part of like my winning streak and tactics, what I would use with people. Again, going to different competitions and getting in the national squad, yeah, which I've done at quite a young age. It was an achievement, but now when I look back at it now, I see how much of an achievement is And I see how proud I am of myself now more than when I was then. Because then I was thought like, oh, I know a lot of other kids that are doing it. What's so special about it? But what is special about it is that you being the minority out of let's say a couple of hundred, and being able to beat everybody and to becoming the best in your weight class for that age. And that was something which I kind of like, I didn't really pay much attention to, because again, I was young. So you don't know the significance of it until you go abroad, until you go traveling or something like that. And often getting these medals, meaning that I had to go to loads of different competitions. So some of them, like I think it's this one. This one is in Germany, hence why the ribbon is a different color. So this was a gold medal which I won in Germany, which was again Germany's and Europe. This was in 2003. So Germany and Europe is very different to like UK or England when it comes to judo, because judo is not a massive thing here. Do you know what I mean? We had like 2 judo governing boards, if you get what I mean. So there's 2 different like league things, BJA and BJC at the time when I was doing judo, and those were the 2 which I fought in. But I learnt my craft at a local judo club, and then I went to a further one which was in it was in Hainault. So I went to a judo club called Judo Judo Club, and I met a guy called Pete Salisbury. Yeah, he's passed away now, rest his soul. And he taught me judo. He taught me the basics of judo. He taught me how to defend myself. He taught me how to move my feet, right? So we used to do something called line dancing. You know what that is? It's the style of music. You think to yourself, what the hell are you doing line dancing as a teenager? But what you're doing is you're learning movement of your feet and not being able to look down at your feet, because you need to move your feet while moving your hands while controlling the fight. And I understand that now because of it's the tools what he taught me then. And just learning those things everywhere where I went, even when I done boxing, which was later on, years after that, people said you've got really good footwork. And I attribute that to him, to Peter Salisbury, man. Rest in peace. He was a very good guy, taught me a lot of things, and I got to say thank you to him for being able to share that part of my life with me. Because, you know, me growing up in school, I can be honest with you, look, I never got bullied and all that because I was doing judo. You don't really want to be bullying the person who's doing the physical sports and obviously winning. You don't. It's not a good idea for anybody to do that. Could just get your lollipop slapped in the back of your throat. Do you get it? In a fast hit. Like, we don't want that. And I wasn't about that anyway, because what judo taught me was how to control my emotions, right? So, you know, as young kids and all that, we get annoyed, you get frustrated, you want to wild out on people. What I never really done at any point during my going to school in secondary and all that, I never put my hands on other kids and like had to like rough them up or swing them about in that type of way, because I knew how much it would hurt them, and I knew how much trouble I would get in by doing something like that. So it taught me a big line of discipline. When I mean discipline, I mean you got to understand training 3 times a week to ramping it up at one point and training 5 times a week. That was my life for about a good 13, 14 years. And it taught me a lot of self-control. Do you get it? Like, I knew that I had the ability to really floor a grown man. That's the truth. In my early teens, maybe like 13, 14, I knew I could put a grown man on the floor. But I always refrained from not doing that and not getting into the argument or not doing something like that, to go down that route, to aggravate someone, to get into that point where now I've got to put you on your ass. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to avoid it, because I understand me dropping you on this bit of concrete or the floor, you could break your arm. I'm not going to break my arm because I'm going to land on you, but you're going to break your arm and you're going to be in agony. And I don't want that on my conscience as a person, because you get something which is called a judo license, isn't it? It's not a license to go and hurt people or do whatever you want. It's a license so you can fight and stuff like that. It's not to do with courts. Like, you can't stand up in court and say, oh, I've got a judo license, that's why I hit him. It's not that. Like, and I realized that by the respect level that Pete showed us and made us impose when we was out in public, but also being with the Great British Judo Squad. I've got the judo jackets with the GB thing on the sides and all that. I'll show you guys in one day. I'll save that for another video. But those times of being a representative for the GB squad, yeah, it just, even now, it just makes me smile and laugh, because it's something which I've done, and it's something which has definitely molded my life. Yeah, when I say molded my life, I mean, I never have to go places and tell them, do you know who I am? Like, I'm this judo champion, blah, 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 blah. Guess what? Keep it to myself. I tell it to the people who want to know. I tell it to people like yourself, because I feel that it's a way of me telling you a little bit more about myself and as an individual, which is, I had a prominent, good, successful serial run when it comes to judo as a judoka in the UK, 100%. And no one could never tell me that, because it's factual. Like, I won back-to-back competitions. I actually had a winning streak for 12 years. I mean, I never lost one fight. I mean, it was, for me, I wasn't counting the years or nothing. I wasn't counting the competitions, because that's weird. But I knew, because I remembered the last time I lost, and I remembered the feeling, how I felt, how it made me feel, maybe a bit depressed at the time, which I didn't know how to associate depression at that age. But I knew that is a feeling which I didn't like, innit? I lost here, but I knew I could do better, and it was just about me doing better. And it's not about nobody else, because at no time can anybody else, my mum, my dad, my uncle, my coach, fight any of them fights for me but me. They can also tell me what to do. Don't keep your head down. You keep on looking up. Things like that. Yeah, you need to be aware of stuff like that. And I definitely feel that your coach plays a key role in stuff like that. But ideally, it's you fighting that person, right? Some of my hardest fights, I'll never forget. Like, I went to the Europeans, yeah. So I could have went to the Youth Olympics, but there's a lot of politics. When you become deep embedded within sport, yeah, there's nothing but politics starts to arrive, because you're maybe on the verge of getting a lot of money or getting a lot of attention, or the attention what you do get, people want to muscle in on that. And I will talk about that as well, because that's what spoiled the sport for me personally. So I'm gonna start taking some of these things off, because it's hurting my neck. But my point was just that with time, yeah, I went to bigger competitions. I represented Great Britain at a lot of international competitions, which I was really proud to say I was there. It allowed my dad to do a lot of traveling. My parents did do so much traveling for judo, and just to come out and see me and support me, because if you want anybody there, you want your parents there, to be honest with you, because it's just not something like you want to show them. My mum was always quite nervous and worried when I fought, because you can get hurt. Let me just keep it honest with you. I mean, I see people get concussions and stuff like that, break their arms, but it's of the rarity, but it does happen. I mean, at most judo competitions, there are St. John's ambulance there on deck, just in case you hurt yourself, or just in case somebody does have something happen to them, because it does happen at the end of the day, innit? And at bigger competitions, you've got to have a medical check before and stuff like that. And obviously they do drug testing as well, which I will talk about in a little bit. But the nervousness from my parents has gotten like not roll on to me, because I knew at that moment I've got to be super focused and like locked in, because just when you're getting ready to fight, like, I don't know if any of you that have been in a sport where you fought. I've fought internationally, innit? So I fought locally, nationally, and internationally for Great Britain, right? So I fought for my judo club, and I fought for Great Britain at separate points. But this whole rep, what you got on you, and people's expectations definitely build up in your emotions and how you do stuff. So having a clear head allowed me to stop thinking about other things, right? During that time, like I'm not thinking about being hungry. I'm thinking about focusing on this person, innit? And what I'm going to do, because I never fought a fight on a counter fight, which is waiting for someone to attack me, then I'm going to attack them back. No, this is going to be my fight. I'm going to dictate the speed, the pace, and I'm going to watch what you do from the beginning. And I kind of worked out with some people, the first moment of me gripping them, I realized how strong they was, or they realized how strong I was. And again, I had something which played into my advantage was when I gripped most people, I'm not gripping them with most of my strength. I mean, I'm talking 30 to 20%, because I knew that climbing up and holding someone tight, that just exhausts a lot of my personal energy. I don't know if that's like for everybody else, but if you get into a fight and you hold someone and you hold them strong with a strong arm all the time, that just makes me feel weaker for later when I want to do something to them in that fight, when I want to throw them with a Tai Toshi or something like that. It's just going to be a lot more strenuous for me. So again, reserving my energy for the points which I need it for made me more effective during my time in being a judo champion. That's something which I kind of always kept to myself. But I just wondered if other people done that. And I don't know, if someone has ever done judo, please do let me know in the comment section below, because this is the video where I want my community to be able to get involved in this experience which I had. If you ever done any type of martial arts, please do let me know in the comment section below. So by the age of 15, yeah, I got my black belt at a judo club in Chelsea. So it's the oldest judo club in London. It's called the Budokai. Everyone can check it out. It's quite a famous judo club, let's say, especially being in Chelsea, and it's the oldest judo club. So for me, that was like an icing on the cake to get my black belt at that age. And I was still in school, so being a black belt in school, I think I told some of my friends knew that I'd done judo, so they wouldn't really ask me a lot of questions, but I would be gone a lot on the weekend. So during my time in secondary school, I would say from the age of year 8 all the way up to my last year in school, I was away every weekend doing judo competitions with Great Britain. That's how much time I spent. We used to spend 2 weekends in England. So there was Christmas and there was another weekend as well. But I joined another judo club at this time, which was called Wilson Judo Club. Very legendary for fighting, very legendary for having some of the hardest randoris going on at that specific time, from like 2003, 2001. Them times there, I was at Wilson Judo Club. So this Germany trip was definitely in a Wilson Judo Club. I'm going to take some of these off now because they're getting kind of heavy. But yeah, I'm going to show some of the medals to you so you guys can see. So that's the medals which I've got. This is easy for me to take them off now. I'm just going to show you them at the camera so you guys can see that they're all different year medals. 2001 national. I wanted to make this video just to let people know that, you know, like, you go through stuff, innit? So when I say it molds me to the person I am, I'm very resilient when it comes to myself, the things I stand for, making sure that I'm going hard, because I know that I went hard when I was younger and I didn't crash out 2006. So this was like my type of run. So I got a lot of other gold medals, but again, I think they're in another box upstairs. I got a whole big box of medals and achievements. So yeah, them times. That was with Wilston. I know that times were with Wilston. Show you another one. So 2003, 2006, 2007, 2003. I was in 2002. I was on fire. Fire. 2003. You see it? These are just some medals which I've got in a box which I had in my room, which I thought, you know what? You should tell a story to people. Another one in Germany. Again, Germany, 2003. I know there's some people that grow up and never have medals and stuff like that, but this for me is like the reason why I can be the way I am, which is quite self-confident, which is I'm not really looking for people to recognize my achievements in it. I just know that my achievements stay within me, and they definitely do give me a little bit more composure for situations which might aggravate others or just allow you to just get out of character, innit? They call it crashing out nowadays. I call it getting out of character, but it happens to the best of us, innit? And when people see what you have achieved, they have a better understanding of you. So being able to achieve my black belt at the age of 15 at the oldest judo club, for me, thumbs up. That was to myself, pat on the back. I went to the junior Europeans that year. No, when I was 17, and I had one of the hardest fights in like my life, I would say. I was fighting this Georgian guy, yeah, and he was a guy. When I say a guy, because you know a lot of countries like that, they didn't have like their passports and stuff like that. So you'll be fighting someone who's got like a full-on beard like I've got now, but them being saying that they're 17. Again, I don't care about if cheating on. What you got to understand is that the more you move up in competition when it comes to judo and stuff like that, there are more chances of foul play being played. Aha, that's the word, foul play. How you interpret them and how you deal with it is up to you. I could only deal with it in a way with trying to beat that person, but basically, he hit me with his shoulder, yeah, and I'll never forget it. And I'm a big person. I'm 6'3", yeah. And he fully gave me a concussion with the shoulder. I mean, it was like being hit with a car, like bow in my face. I remember seeing stars, but I had to carry on. At that point, I seriously, I wanted to cry because he hit me so hard. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. So I did jump on his back in a way where winded the life out of him, but I let him know that I'm not that type of person you could just whack your shoulder into his face, knowingly that you wasn't going to do a throw. You was just using it to just move me quickly and hit me in my face. So again, I showed him what time it was. I didn't win that fight at all, but I gave it to him. We was going to fight to the brink, to the end, I was going to try everything I could do to get that person. And sometimes this is what happens. People do get the better of you. A situation like that, him doing something like that at the beginning of the fight, allowed me to not really focus so much on the fight. And I feel that that's one of the key reasons why I did lose that fight. Again, I'm not upset. He was a better person at the time. Would I fight him again? 110%. I'd put the brakes on him again. But you can't always win everything. I understood that. And that kind of has been the echo for life, is that you could have a really good run with whatever you're doing, yeah, and not end up being the ultimate winner at the end of the day, which is, it's okay because you tried. And I feel that judo has given me that type of edge towards life and situations where, again, I understand if I'm not winning, I might need to focus a bit more. I might need to knuckle down a bit more, and I might need to improve on what I'm doing so I can become a better version to be able to be more adaptable to this situation, that's what it's definitely showed me as a career. It's something which I have wanted to return to for some years, but I'm a lot older now. So my body is not how it used to be, but I do want to get into shape this year. And where I've been launching my YouTube career, this is something that I'm going to do on the side, where it's going to be like the live version of like what I'm doing, possibly going to some training and seeing if I can go to a competition and win one more medal. Well, I'm going to win more than one more medal, but yeah, I'm going to start my little journey. But I just wanted people to know that what my hobby was, which turned into a career. And I forgot to say to you that I've been in the newspapers numerous amounts of times, the local newspapers, and I've also been in the Metro as well. So I remember being in that paper, and I remember being in the BBC. I got featured on a time then, and I also I lit the flame for the 2020 Olympics, which was in Stratford. So you know when you run with the flame, I done that for my local area, which, yeah, even though I didn't go to the Olympics, it was definitely something which I was proud of. But me not going to the Olympics and stuff, like, I'll get to this point, yeah. So the reason for me not going is because of a lot of politics. Like I said to you, within every sport, yeah, there becomes a level of politics and what people want you to do. So there used to be a criteria, yeah, and the criteria was to get on this type of this is a, let me show you this. So this is the Midlands competition, which I won as well in 2002. I didn't show you that last one. That's that one. Got good focus on this camera as well, isn't it? Appreciate you guys if you keep subscribing as well, man. Yeah. So I won the juniors and the seniors in 1 year one time. So 2 different age groups. I won my age group and the senior group. So I got into the senior squad. There was a lot of talk about me as a young prospect coming up, but I was the way I was, which was at some points I didn't listen to these people because I sometimes thought that going to some of these training camps was a bit of a waste of my time because you're training with people who you've already beaten, and at some points they start to work out your moves or they want to fight you over and over again. You got this at points. Like I went to training camps in Belgium, Germany, Sweden. Did we go? No, we went to Belgium, Holland. So Holland there was a big judo community in Holland, yeah. So always going to competitions in Holland, the Dutch Open and places like that. So there was always training camps after. Even when I went to the Europeans, there was a training camp after in Azerbaijan, which we stayed for. So I got to see a little bit of Azerbaijan as well. France as well. There was loads of judo competitions. I won the French Open before, the French Boys Open. So the Boys Open, which was like to do with your school and stuff like that. I won that 3 times and got a massive grant for my school. I remember that. That was something quite legendary. My school started paying for my judo trips and stuff like that and allowed me some extra time off to be able to go and represent because I was doing such a good job. I remember that, man. My school was very supportive of that. At the time I was getting in the paper as well. So yeah, I didn't really look at it as a career even at that point because it's just something what I was doing, innit? I couldn't take it too seriously because I realized that there was a lot of people within judo who didn't have a penny to their name. They didn't have no money. Like they just had judo, innit? And their ears were like, you get cauliflower ears sometimes from bashing your ears against people during judo, looking like a rugby player. And that was something which I just didn't want to invest my time in doing. So at points I was looking for other things to do, and the opportunity of becoming a plumber came up. So I definitely started looking more into that because that was more stable. Again, I could see what I could see from other people. I enjoyed judo. I loved doing judo. And I love what it's brought to my life now, which is the medals, the memories, and the competitions. I feel that some parts of life is a competition, but we all don't know that we're playing a competition. So failing is part of the lesson. Winning is part of your wisdom and stuff like that, which you've learned. I've had so many fights, and I briefly didn't talk about the randoris and stuff like that, but I would say the randoris in Willesden, why I say they were always legendary, because as a judo club, if anybody knows anything about Willesden Judo Club, from an era of time when I was there, a couple other people, my cousin, Ashley, Lee, it was ridiculous. Like it was the hit squad. We were going to clubs regularly, destroying people, destroying their club, destroying the randoris, absolutely destroying it and getting as much practice in as you can with different types of judo players from all over the field, man. So that got you very versatile with working with people who were fighting from the left or fighting from the right, people who were just awkward to fight and stuff like that. So it got you trained up. It made you think differently when you was coming towards every fight. You had a few different styles to be able to get onto people on. Do you get it? And that's what I think what made us quite legendary. And Lee Davis took us to a lot of competitions. That's his name. He was doing a lot for us, driving us up and down the country, everywhere, Europe, everywhere, doing mad amount of miles in the galaxy. That galaxy was on 160k and all that. We was doing bits. But the experience of just like traveling and seeing different countries, especially Europe, a lot of Europe. I saw a lot of places in Europe. I mean, I look back now and I say that I've been to a lot of places because I have a lot of different cities which I would probably never go to, but I've been there for judo. And I met a lot of people, you know. I used to fight this guy, Alan Assassin from Israel. I remember him. Just because he had that weird name, but you remember people's names, like their last name and first name, and it's like, yeah, I could find them on Facebook now, but it's not that deep. Just wanted to tell the story so people could understand what type of relevance judo has definitely had up on my life, and how a disciplined martial arts like that is good for a lot of boys. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If you're unruly young person, get into martial arts and channel that and focus it in a way where it's really positive, because you might not be the best. I'm not trying to say that you are going to be the best, but you could get to that point, innit? And it's about working on yourself. At every different chapter, I've had to work on myself. At every different chapter, I was not the best person. So to become the best at a point means that like now it's paying off. All those judo sessions, all those times going 2 times, 1 time a week. I remember being at Willesden and running from Willesden all the way to Oxford Street. If anybody knows that area, it's not easy. It's not a quick run. It's not round the corner at any point. So that and those points were always super character building points for me, to know that I can do so much, even within my own life and the things what I want to do, my own ability. It's definitely shaped and changed and given me like mad resilience for life. Mad. I can't even explain to you. Like, for me to go through a hard time, I wouldn't really look at that as a hard time sometimes, because I've been through that already while doing judo, while wondering, why is this person fighting you hard? Why is this older adult just getting at you and digging you? Like, but when you get older, you could do the same to them when you get them back on the mat. Like, don't get me wrong, I did to some people as they done to me back in the day. If they tried to bully me and stuff like that, when I got back on the mat and I got them and I was on top, I made them suffer. I took it out on some big people. I'm not really remorseful for that. No, that's the game at the end of the day. If you come on and you fight, we're going to fight. We're going to get it. And I realized that some points, a lot of people didn't want to have that fight. They wanted to have more of a chit chat when we used to do judo. But I'm not doing that with you. I'm going to fight you. You're going to go down a few times. Don't care if you don't like it. Don't come on. Don't fight. That's my approach to it. Because at this point, I'm fighting all adults. So you got to be. I didn't have my feelings involved there. I'm thinking about, oh, I might hurt your foot there. You might. Well, get back up, in it. Let's go again. Because if the chance was on the other foot, you would try and throw me, in it. So that's what we're here for, in it. So let's not play about, in it. Let's just get it on, in it. That's my thing, in it. But I would say that later down, like going to the gym, working out, it's allowed me to realize that you can do any type of transformation what you want in life, as long as you dig in and you get yourself involved within the inner you. Like, me not running from the inner me, which was me failing at the beginning and becoming a champion at the end, and being able to have these days where I can make a video and I can show you like all my medals. You get it? Like, it's a moment, and it's struggle that I've went through, and it's a level of like perseverance where I want to show people that you can all do something, innit? People don't know your background. Like, people don't know that I'm a judo champion. If they search my name, they would find it, because that's what comes up. Great Britain judo champion. And to have these medals, gold medals, which I've got loads of, I look back and I say to myself, you know what? You was always somebody before you knew you was somebody. Don't ever let anybody take any of these achievements away from you as a person, because people's biggest flex in life now is to bring you down. But they can't bring you down when you're already up. And you know to yourself what you can do. Life is not all about trying to impress others or showing others what I can do or what I have got. Some things you to keep to yourself. Like, most people are watching me for a good amount of time and didn't know I was a black belt in judo or a Great Britain judo champion. They didn't. They had no idea. But you don't play every card. You don't let people know all your business. But today, I wanted to share this story with you guys so you guys can understand a little bit more about me and the resilientness that I've went through, and just like the ups and the downs. Like I told you, I lost at the beginning. I have no shame in telling you that I lost. But I became a champion in the end. And that's what everybody loves. Everybody loves for you to be a champion. Believe that, man. I keep my medals in a box of memories, yeah? Anytime that I may be feeling low or something like that, so open this box and have a little look and just give myself a moment. Do you get it? Pinch myself. Tell myself I've done this already, you know? Things can get done in life. And I think that a lot of people need to hear that. Even at the time, what we're going through is mad testing all the time. Just know that you've achieved some things and you can keep on achieving stuff. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody shine down on your parade. It's not that type of party. Like and subscribe. That's what type of party it is. This was the story about my judo career. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe though. Need you to keep subscribing.